Shalom. All praise to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. It's your brother Atazawan Bayath. And I'm going to bring a short lesson on this article I came across here from the Washington Post. All right. And we'll go through the article here and get a few scriptures. But this is from the Washington Post, and it reads, police chief bragged about shooting black man 119 times according to recording, right? So, and this happened in a small town in Mississippi, all right? And it's forever a reminder, one of the plagues that the Lord put us under, all right? And that we can't escape. All right, and two, the wickedness of Esau, Edom, all right, and it's going to be the Lord that's going to get them out of the way for us, all right. So quickly, I'll just go through this article, and then we'll get a few scriptures, and then we'll be done. All right, so it reads here, this is from the Washington Post, as I said, okay. And it says a police chief in Mississippi was fired Wednesday after a leaked recording showed that the official had bragged about killing 13 people in the line of duty and used the N-word repeatedly, including to describe one black person. The white man says he shot at least 119 times. See, for as much as people try to tell you things have changed and things have gotten better, those of the secular world, things have gotten better for so-called Negroes in this country, and it includes the Hispanics, okay, and the Native Americans, all right? Things have not changed. Why? Because of the curses, all right? So let's go on, and it says, the racist, homophobic, and explicit-laden remarks that Sam Dobbins, the chief in the small town of Lexington, made during an April conversation with an officer caused an uproar this week in the Mississippi Delta community. The roughly 16-minute conversation, which was first reported by the Mississippi Central for Investigative Reporting, was recorded by Robert Lee Hooker, a black man who resigned as an officer from the Lexington Police Department last week due to what he described as a toxic work environment. All right, because when you work in these kind of surroundings, those who are in authority, okay, they wield their authority harshly, okay, and they sometimes, really show who they really are, and they don't care who's around them. There are those who try to be more coy about their racism, if you will. All right, and then there are those who are blatant, okay? So going on, it says, in a recording later obtained by the Washington Post, Dobbins can be heard boasting to Hooker about all of the men he killed when he was an officer. All right, and it says, quote, I've killed 13 men in my career justified, he said, according to the recording. In my line of duty, I have shot and killed 13 different people, okay? And this guy's really, it was just a hired gun, you see. While describing an alleged shootout in a cornfield, Dobbins claimed to Hooker that he saved 67 kids in a school by shooting a black man more than 100 times. Quote, I shot the, you see it, N-word 119 times, okay? Dobbins said to Hooker, adding that the man he shot was DRT, or dead right there. It's unclear what case he's referring, but Dobbins reiterated the vehicle was shot 319 times, but he was hit 119 times by me. All right, so the article goes on, and it says, as backlash mounted in Lexington, a town of 1,600 people, 80% of whom are black, the Board of Aldermen voted 3-2. Now, who are the other two that wouldn't want this guy ousted? Wednesday to oust Dobbins effective immediately. Once we heard it, I was just appalled and angry. Cardell Wright, the paralegal for Julian, a civil rights and international human rights organization that obtained the audio from Hooker, told the Post. Wright, the president of Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, added, "Just to see the hatred in your own backyard was disturbing." He knew he had to do something immediately. Neither Dobbins nor Hooker immediately responded to requests for comment earlier Thursday. Messages left for the mayor's office were also not immediately returned. Okay. Here you still talking about 2022 as if these devils have changed. They've never changed. Okay, no matter what your voting stance is, those who vote, you know, it doesn't change the integrity of the people. They're born liars. They know how to cover things up, you know. So anyway, let me go on here. It says Dobbins told the Mississippi Center for Investigative Reporting that he was unaware of the recording and that the topic of killing people in the line of duty was something we don't discuss, period. He also denied using the slurs. "I don't talk like that," Dobbins said. Mississippi is a one-party consent state when it comes to recording conversations, meaning not all parties in a conversation have to be made aware they are being recorded. Jill Colin Jefferson, the founder and president of Julian, told the Post in a statement that the corruption we're seeing here is on a scale I haven't seen since the Civil Rights Movement. Okay, and that's like I said, these same devils who did this 50 years ago, you know, it's their grandchildren who are in, you know, holding those same positions today. All right. The fruit don't fall too far from the tree. Okay. This audio is damning, Jefferson said. It's not just a reflection of one officer, it's a reflection of an entire culture of policing, and it should spur Congress to finally rein in this modern day slave patrol. You see, a culture like this does not deserve immunity. And you got a lot of these small towns that are like that. Okay. Dobbins' firing comes at a time when policing and the culture of small police departments is under scrutiny nationwide after the mass shooting of an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas in May, in which 19 children and 2 adult teachers were killed. Critics and policing experts said the handling of the tragedy raised more concerns as to whether tiny police agencies still made sense. Agencies with fewer than 10 officers make up nearly half the nation's more than 12,200 local departments, a 2016 federal survey found. All right. So let's look at this last paragraph here, okay? And then we'll get a couple of scriptures. And it says more than 1,050 people have been shot and killed by police in the past year, according to data tracked by the Post. Although half of those people were white, Black Americans, all right, Israelites, are shot at a disproportionate rate. They account for less than 13% of the U.S. population, but are killed by police at more than twice the rate of whites. Hispanics are also killed, all right, more Israelites, by police at a disproportionate rate, you see. So you got all these little towns like this that have these little sheriffs and chief of police and so on and so forth, you know, who basically hunt Jake, all right? But you can't get away from it because why? We're the Israelites and they know it, and we're under the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28:64, and it reads, "And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people," right? We're scattered all across the planet, all right? "From the one end of the earth even unto the other," as it says right there. "And there thou shalt serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find what? No ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, But the Lord Yahweh shall give thee that what a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have no assurance of thy life. You see? So even in this modern day society, don't get too comfortable, Jake, you know, because they still hate you, right? They still hate the Israelites. Let's go on to Slakia. Where's my other scripture at? And these people, they're running out of time. All right. See, the spirits are busy, and it's really charging these people up to do their wickedness, right? To spill blood. All right. This is Revelation 12:12. And it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And right now, that clock is really ticking. That what you would call it, that thing with the sand in it. I can't. It's slipping my mind now, you know. But they're almost out of sand, right? And their time is running out. Okay. So they have to do as much dirt as they can. All right. So this is Obadiah, and let's just jump in right there at verse 2. And it reads, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised, yeah, you Edomites. Okay, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground, right? That's the pride of these people. And the only reason why this police chief talked like that is because of his pride, right? Because he thought that nobody would turn him in for his wickedness. So let's jump down to verse 9, and it reads, Obadiah 1:9, and thy mighty men of Teman shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Why? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So the Lord is going to do away with these so-called white people eventually. All right, we're going to put them into slavery, and they're going to serve their 1,000-year punishment. Okay, and then they're going to be cast into the abyss, basically, in the outer darkness, as if they never ever existed. Okay, because everywhere they go, they start shit. And everywhere they are, where they rule, you know, the people are mourning. Okay, this is Malachi 1:4, and it reads, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them what? The border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, have indignation forever. Okay, so the Lord hates them forever. Okay, let's go on to Ecclesiastes. Okay, because a lot of them, you know, they're unrighteous. Okay, by nature. And a lot of them hold their offices, you know, through fraud, okay, and through wickedness. So this is Ecclesiastes 10:5, and it reads, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler, okay. Folly is set in great dignity, and you got a lot of these small towns with these chiefs of the fire department, you know, the sheriff's office, and so on. All right, wicked as hell, okay, but they're sitting on top, right? And they walk the streets, and they walk into a store, and they got their shaved bald heads and their dark sunglasses, right, trying to intimidate you. All right, Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place, and that rich is us sitting in a low place right now. Verse 7, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Right, everything is flip-flopped, right? Because what? We didn't do what the Lord said. So he turned everything upside down basically for us at this time. Okay? But that prophecy against what? Edom, so-called white man, is going to come to pass. All right? And we're starting to see his society crumble. And there'll probably be many more stories like this that'll come out, all right, in the future. So let's look at Ezekiel 35. We'll start right there, verse 1, and it says, Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Salakia, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, right? Remember, they're the indignation forever, okay? I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste. Remember, they said that they will come back and build their cities, and the Lord said, what? I will throw them down, okay? I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. Thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel, right? Shot this man 100 times, okay? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and sometimes the sword can really is in today's term, a sword can actually just be a pistol, a gun, a weapon, okay? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end, right? So they've taken things way too far, okay? And they've been getting away with it, as one would imagine, for a very long time, okay? But their time is almost up. Hourglass, Salakia. It just came to my mind. You know, when you have that hourglass and you turn it upside down and that sand runs down, okay? They're just about out of sand, all right? All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It came back to my mind what I was trying to convey, all right? So they're running out of time. That hourglass is running out of sand. Verse 6, Therefore as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You see? So they can brag about how many times they shot a man, okay? And his thing is that he thought he would not be exposed, okay? But the Lord had him exposed, all right? So we'll see what happens from this point with this guy if they do a trial or whatever, all right? Because ultimately, as that phrase goes, that's overkill. All right, he said that I guess it was a car or whatever was shot over 300 times and 119 bullets was his. How would he know? Okay, so anyway, I saw this little report and I figured, I just do a little lesson on it, okay, to show you, hey, we're still under the curses. The wicked is still ruling at this time. We're waiting on Yahweh Shai, okay, and in the meantime, their time is running out. So they're pulling out all the stops, and their own tongue is falling upon themselves. All right. So a lot of things are going on all at once. All right, which lets us know these are the last of the last days. Okay. So Lord willing, this little article, this little lesson was edifying. Okay. And as we always do, we get these stories and we filter them through the scriptures so that those who are in the beginning stages of learning about your heritage and about the Israelites, that you can see that we are the people of the scriptures, all right? And nobody else matches up with what's going on, the prophecies and what's going on in the scriptures and what's going on the earth today. Nobody matches up with that except you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans. All right. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And those out there, you need to repent, okay, before the destruction comes. All right. Give it all praise to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'll see you all again real soon with another lesson, Lord willing. Shalom.